Shalom. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone that taught us His truth, that rule well, to the men that taught them. Peace and blessings to the elect, the nation of Israel, and that begins with the 144,000 who are the prophets today, and also the great multitude of men, women, and children the Heavenly Father is going to have mercy on. And you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans are the true Hebrew Israelites. And that is according to the Holy Scriptures. And my name is Dawadah, coming with another lesson. And back with another lesson for the spiritual ear, to see and hear. And according to the Holy Scriptures, which is the 1/3 that's going to be delivered from the destruction of Babylon, which is AKA America today. And I want to go into a lesson today speaking of, but unto the wicked, God said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? You know what I'm saying? You know? And I want to start off with this, I got this article up, and I want to start off with that. And it says, you're welcome, which is, white pastor says, God has blessed black Americans through white people and slavery sparking outrage. A Christian nationalist pastor who often stirs up controversy online for his inflammatory remarks on race relations in Americans' social and political landscape is drawing backlash once again with a new set of comments aiming at black Americans. Joel Webbin, the head pastor of Covenant Bible Church in Austin, Texas, recently said that the opportunities black people were eventually afforded in the USA as a result of slavery far outweigh the oppression that they historically suffered. He also suggests that the black Americans are to blame for the persecution they experienced in the U.S. And here he's speaking right now, saying this, cut it out, Webbin said on this podcast. Right respond, minister, you need to grow up. Stop throwing a fit. You're throwing a tantrum. Stop being a little boy. You're whining and crying about something that ultimately your fault. Stop blaming it on other people. It's your fault. It's like, whoa, slavery. The richest black people on God's green earth are African Americans. If slavery never happened, then you would be in grass hut. Well, we need reparations. Your reparations are that you get to live in America. You're welcome. The greatest moment in history for any brown or black country is the moment that the white man's ships arrived on your shores. He brings the gospel of Jesus Christ. He categorized you and your children. He brings exports. He brings hospitals, medicine, life expansions, increased GDP, and resources increase, medicine increase, and most importantly, you get taught the gospel of Jesus Christ so that you can live longer on earth than go to heaven instead of hell. Unconceivable, make America great again. Pastor calls for execution, rebellious black youth, exciting death by stoning in the Old Testament. And then Webbin went on to say that although Europeans committed sins during the colony era, they still worshiped Jesus Christ and introduced the gospel of the Holy Bible to much of the world that was worshiping demons. He also attribute much of the success that black Americans and other people, non-European descendants, experienced in the Western world to efforts and influence of European exports and colonizers. God has blessed you, and He has blessed you in large parts through white people. Women continue, and also As for you and your house, do your part to change the FBI crime statistic and stop killing people. A roughly 40-second clip of this remarks drew numerous reactions and comments on X after being posted by Right Ring Watch. So, if you want to, check this out, I mean, this the pastor here. His name is Joe Webbin. Like I said again, this devil here, and that's why I came out with this lesson, to speak on, you know, basically, I'm going to read this. Let's go to Psalms 50 and 16, because this the pride of Esau. You know what I'm saying? Esau is got a lot of nerves, to say. He said a lot, but you know what, Esau? Your day is coming. Your judgment day is coming. So you can, puff your chest out. You know what I'm saying? You can do, you can say whatever you want, but everything that you're saying is being held accountable. So let's go to Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, God said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou should take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing that thou hast instructions, cast my words behind thee. Yeah. And if you look at it, why is Esau picking up this book? You know what I'm saying? Speaking about the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Why is he picking up the Bible on a day-to-day basis? You know what I'm saying? The so-called white people is the wicked. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Bible talks about. They're the definition of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? And most of Esau is, taking upon themselves to spur nothing but bullcrap every time. And you see that in this article that I just read. That's all they do is spur bullcrap. You know what I'm saying? Making it seem like they love, they love the word. They love the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Until they find out that the Bible condemns them. You know what I'm saying? And they got a judgment come. Then they want to turn to be atheists. You know what I'm saying? And like I said again, the question will be why? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why are you picking up the book in the first place? When you don't even follow the instructions of the book. You know what I'm saying? When the laws were never given to you. The laws were never given to you heathens. Especially you not you Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. Let me read that back again. Psalms 50, verse 16 and verse 17. But unto the wicked, God said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou should take my covenant in thy mouth, slacking? Seeing thou hatest instructions and cast my words behind thee. Yeah. And that's what you have done, Esau. You don't follow instructions. You're trying to take the place of the Most High, and thinking that you the Most High, you God, but you ain't nothing. You the lowest of the lowest. You the cave dweller, the caveman. You know what I'm saying? And those laws were only given to Israel. Let me go there, 147 verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, and Jacob will be the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel, yeah, because, he showed his word unto Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shemi Shai done that, in his statutes and his judgments, only to Israel. So, what in the world that you think that you have, the laws are only given, the law, statute, and commandments are only given to the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, that's it. Verse 20, and he have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Shemi Shai. Yeah. So only the Israelites this book was given to. You know what I'm saying? It was not given to any other nation. And as far as judgments, these other nations never went through any, let alone hardship or judgments. Esau ain't never went through none. They the oppressor. All they want to do is just keep on oppressing people, you know what I'm saying? What they know, that they're good at, you know what I'm saying? You know? And these other nations will see this real soon. They will understand how things will be when they go through all these difficult times, you know what I'm saying? When that market crash, you know what I'm saying? Especially Esau, and they feeling it right now, you know what I'm saying? So like I said again, this book was only given to the Israelites, not all the other nations. Esau is trying to pretend, to be like the Most High, but he's not, you know what I'm saying? Because woe, you know what I'm saying? Destruction is coming to you, Esau. Let's get that in Micah 2:1, you know? Because destruction is coming to you, you know what I'm saying? Start from the top. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them, and woe means destruction. And woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Yeah, and because these people try to speak highly of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? But in the back of their mind, they got a hidden agenda, you know what I'm saying? They can't stand the Most High, you know what I'm saying? That's why they don't follow instructions, you know what I'm saying? They would rather, curse the Most High, you know what I'm saying? And that's the spirit of Esau, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of spirit Esau has, you know what I'm saying? But this kingdom is going down, you know what I'm saying? The destruction basically explains that in Revelation 17, 18, and 19 chapters. You know what I'm saying? Where we see the chariots going around, right now, Babylon, all the time, you know what I'm saying? Setting up this place to be destroyed, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, And Esau know that. That's why they seeing chariot sites all the time, you know what I'm saying? Throughout Babylon, you know what I'm saying? AKA America. They seeing all these chariots and they shaking in their boots, you know what I'm saying? And the pride of Esau thinking that their kingdom is going to continue, you know what I'm saying? Their kingdom is not going to continue. It's coming to an end, you know what I'm saying? Let me read that back again. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. And when the morning is light, they practice it, and because it is in the power of their hand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They work evil upon their beds, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they do, They're good at, that. Esau is always plotting, what wickedness he can do next, you know what I'm saying? But it's all been, recorded by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know what I'm saying? Because Esau is the evil man, He's the you know what I'm saying, the violent man, you know what I'm saying, in the scriptures. Let's go to Proverbs chapter Proverbs chapter 4, and let's start at 14. Well, let me go 13. Take fast hold of instructions, let her not go, keep her. She is in thy life, Aslaki. No, let me start at 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of the evil man. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. Verse 16, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. Verse 17, for they eat bread of the wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. See? So this is the mind of the wicked, you know what I'm saying? AKA Esau Edom, the red man, Alawam, you know what I'm saying? Which would be the Edomites today, the so-called, man, woman, and children, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They will give you, a whole spill about, you know what I'm saying, about how much they love the Lord, you know what I'm saying? But then we'll turn around and just give you some rhetoric. They'll just talk about, you know what I'm saying? They'll agree with the alphabet group. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's okay for the same sex marriage to get married. There's nothing wrong with that. But then here they is talking about they love the Lord and they follow what the Bible is saying. No, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Or they encourage, their women, to divorce their men. You know what I'm saying? That's why the divorce rate is so high. You know what I'm saying? Because our women have took on the vibration of the Esau woman. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's all geared around just making money. You know what I'm saying? They take basically half of your. What they do is they take half of their husband's stuff. The Esau woman. That's why. You know what I'm saying? They ain't right to die. You know. You know. And let's read that back again. Let's go back to Micah 2:1. You know what I'm saying? Because Esau, he is the violent man. You know. He loves to, plot, sleeping on his bed thinking about what he can do that's wicked. You know what I'm saying? Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, and because it is in their power of their hand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these people cannot, you know what I'm saying? These people is always thinking about, in the back of their mind, they thinking about doing wickedness. You know what I'm saying? That's all they do. You know what I'm saying? All day. What can they do to, you know what I'm saying? What can they do to Jake? Or what can they teach our women to be wicked? That's their whole agenda and their motive. Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Yeah. So, this is what Esau is good at doing. And they covet fields and take them by violence. Yeah. What did they do to the Native Americans? You know what I'm saying? When they came over here, the Pilgrims, they raped, robbed, and murdered, Gad and Reuben, That's what they did. What they give them? Smallpox, you know what I'm saying? Just being wicked, you know what I'm saying? Broke all the treaties, you know what I'm saying? Every treaty they broke. And done nothing but wickedness, you know what I'm saying, to the northern kingdom, which would be Gad and Reuben. And what did they do? They stole their land, you know what I'm saying? And now they're saying that they're the people. They're Gad and Reuben, And what did they do? They put walls up telling the northern brothers and sisters, you can't come into the land. And that's what they're doing to this day. Fast forward to this day. Fast forward and what they're doing, And that's pretty much straight madness, Which they like to, you know what I'm saying, hide behind the Bible to justify their needs, you know what I'm saying? They like to use the plantation Bible as well, That's what they came up with. They took a lot of books out, but that's what they do, you know what I'm saying? And they take them so they oppress a man and his house, and every man in his heritage. Yeah, and this is exactly what they did, you know what I'm saying? They took away our heritage, you know what I'm saying that they're the people of the Bible, the small hats, which the Bible is our heritage. It's not the heathen heritage. It's not the self-proclaimed so-called white man, the Edomites. No. And they know that. They just want to play, like they don't know what's going on, but they know. They know exactly what's going on, And their day is coming, Let's go to Ecclesiastes, Sirach, chapter 24, verse 23. And all these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High power, and even the law which Moses commanded for an inheritance unto the congregation of Jacob. Yeah. So does it say Moab? Does it say Ammon? Does it say Moab is the Chinese today? Ammon is the Japanese today? Do it say the Hamites, which would be the Africans today? Do it say the Edomites, which would be the so-called white people today? Does it say, Ishmael, which would be, the Arabs today? Does it say Elam, which would be the East Indians today? No, it said, and I'm going to read that back again. Sirach chapter 24, verse 23. And all these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High power, even the law which Moses commanded for the heritage unto the congregations of Jacob. So that's a straight cut, which would be the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the diaspora, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that, diaspora, you know what I'm saying, which was scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, you know what I'm saying? This is our heritage, you know what I'm saying, that we supposed to follow, you know what I'm saying? This book don't have nothing to do with the heathens, only the Israelites, But Esau keep on, trying to, do otherwise, But we got your number, Esau. We know exactly what you're doing, And what did they do? They said, we are, and what did they say now? What they do? What they really say? They say, we Gad and Reuben now. You know what I'm saying? And even also, the small hats over there in our land now. Who they saying they are? They're saying they're the people of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They're saying they're the Jew. They say, I don't want to say that word, but you know what I mean. So, Esau, that's what he do. You know what I'm saying? He's good at, he's crafty at what he does. You know what I'm saying? And he got other people thinking, all that stuff that they're the people of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And especially our people fall for all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They fall for everything, the self-proclaimed so-called white man say. Micah, let me go back to Micah chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Yeah. So Esau loved taking other people's possessions. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. You know what I'm saying? He's good at doing that. Because what Esau was blessed with, he was blessed with the sword. And and if you look at it now, man, they in almost every country, 300 embassies. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. They good at stealing other people's resources. And I'm speaking to you, the self-proclaimed so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? Which you're not white, you red. It's different shades of pink. Let's go to Psalms, back to Psalms, because you don't supposed to be touching this book. Let's go back to Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou should take my covenant in thy mouth? Yeah, Esau. Why are you even picking this book up? You know what I'm saying? And then you add it and taking it away. And in this book, it fits. It doesn't even fit your agenda. It's not even for you, and what the scriptures are saying. But what the scriptures say, if you add or take away, paraphrasing, it's going to add plagues to you, and you know what's going on. But that's the pride of Esau. You know what I'm saying? He don't like to follow instructions what the Most High said to do. How about Shemiah said to do? Because he has a God complex. You know what I'm saying? And this next scripture is basically talking about, the king of Babylon, basically speaking out, Lucifer, which is that lightened one, you know what I'm saying? Who was, was on top, at one time, but speaking about how he is falling from being on top to that low state, you know what I'm saying? And that would be in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. And better yet, I can start at 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Yeah. And like I said again, this is talking about the king of Babylon, basically speaking about Lucifer, was once on top, but now has fallen in low state of mind, in low state. You know what I'm saying? Verse 13, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the most high power. I will sit also upon the mount of congregation inside of the north. Yeah. So you see, Esau, you know what I'm saying, he wants to control everything. He doesn't want to follow the instructions of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. He's trying to, say he's you know what I'm saying, God, you know what I'm saying. And what did he do? He changed the image of the Most High Son, Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? Trying to say that he fits the description, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Christianity did. And also, he plugged in Christianity, which is, he changed the doctrine, which is going off, because the Bible don't have nothing to do with what lines up with Christianity, you know what I'm saying? Verse 14, and I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. Verse 15, yet thou should be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Yeah. So the nation of Esau, you're going to be brought down, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be brought down so low, because right now, you coming down now, you know what I'm saying? Your economic, kingdom is coming down, you know what I'm saying? It's falling, you know what I'm saying? Babylon is falling, you know what I'm saying? Because you think your enterprise is going to continue to go on, but it's not, And the Bible, like I said again, the Bible condemns you, you know what I'm saying? Because whoever comes up against this word, the Bible is condemned. It condemns them. And whoever is against the Israelites, basically you will be destroyed. And your main objective is going against the Israelites, you know what I'm saying? It's trying to destroy us, you know what I'm saying? And what you have done, you have polluted the minds of our people, but now a remnant has woken up. The elect in the 1/3, the hopefully elect, you know what I'm saying? Singing that new song, Revelations 14, So Esau, your time is up, man. See, because of the pride of you, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to Proverbs 16 and 18. I'm going to bring a couple more scriptures, and then I'm going to be done. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Yeah, because, back in the 50s and the 60s and 70s, you was up there. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't, go out on the highways and byways at that time. You had us on trees. You know what I'm saying? You was doing whatever you want to do. We had to say, yes, master. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We couldn't go into your same bathrooms or anything. None of that. So, but now, the pride of you, you know what I'm saying? You will be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to make Esau pay for everything you have done. You know what I'm saying? And it's all being recorded. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that you think that you're going to get away with your judgment, you're not going to get away with your judgment. Not at all. Because, see, they come like a lamb, but then they speak like a dragon. You know what I'm saying? They sneaky and conniving. But like we know, but war is in their heart. War is in their heart. That's the main thing that they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? They thinking about, they come with these, these sanctions on these other countries, but they lure them in. You know what I'm saying? They tell them, they give them a good prize, telling them what they're going to offer them, and they have them sign on that dotted line, but they already have, war in their heart. You know what I'm saying? But we got something for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to go to the nail in the coffin, Revelations 13 and 10. And I'm going to close out on this last scripture. Revelations chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And that's what we're doing. We're the saints, you know what I'm saying? Psalms 148 and 14. So we're patiently waiting for this place to go down, aka America, Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? And you led us into captivity. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, took on our identity, our heritage. You know what I'm saying? You know? And he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Yeah. Because you're going to get everything that you did to us, what you reap, Galatians 6 and 7, you're going to receive back. And like I said again, we're patiently waiting, you know what I'm saying, for this to come to an end. Because we told you over and over, you know what I'm saying, you don't supposed to be touching this book. This is not your book. So like I said again, but unto the wicked, God said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? So you don't supposed to be picking this book up. This is our heritage. We are the people of the Bible, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? And that's all through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I'm coming humbly speaking, you know what I'm saying, to our people. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this was edifying. I want to say Shalom, call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone that taught us this truth, that rule well, and to the men that taught them. Peace and blessings to the elect, the nation of Israel, that begins with the 144,000 who are the prophets today, and also the great multitude of men, women, and children the Heavenly Father is going to have mercy on. And I want to say, this is your brother Dawadah. Shalom.